Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hope Hurd, and I'm going to teach you guys today about the computer website Desmos.com. Desmos is an online tool that helps students with graphing and also teaches students how to create cool different graphs with using the art of pictures. So, without further ado, let's get started. In order to use this website, you must click on what's called the Launch Calculator. It will go on to a certain page that creates a different spreadsheet. On the bottom of our page, you can see here we have this cute little keypad. This helps students be able to do different equations and to plug different equations in onto our different graph right here. So, let's begin with starting a simple graph. Let's try y equals 2. Now, if you look up here on my left screen, you'll see a different color. It's shaped in like a certain squiggle with the solid line, which is this entire line is considered a solid line. Now, if you also notice here, we have this different slider. This helps students be able to see different parts of the graph go from either really high, from -10, to really low, like -10. And it shows students that throughout the entire graph, no matter what y is, the slope of it will always be 0, because when the line has no x, no mx, the line will always have no slope, which means it'll be a slope equal to 0. So let's put it back to y equals 2. And now let's add an x to it. Now you see here it immediately went to the equation y equals 2x, which means that 2 over 1, 4 over 2, to the certain equation. Now say I want to add like a -1. But before I add that 1, let me show you something. Right up here you can see there is a triangle with an exclamation point. It means like, sorry, I don't understand this, meaning that it won't be able to plug into the equation. So now that I add a 1, we get our line back. So now that you guys have a basic idea of how this different website works, let's create a picture. Students can be able to use this in order to create different with pictures and with tables. Let me first show you a table while I have a certain equation up here. If you click up here, there's a button that says Edit List. It looks like a gear shape. You can say Convert to Table, create the same exact program, the exact line, or you can delete the line. Or, if you're being very creative when you're creating pictures, you can change the color of it. Say I wanted to dot the line. It now went from being a complete solid line to being dotted. And I can also change the color to any different color I want. It's actually pretty cool. And I'll be using that feature later on to create ourselves a surprised face, a surprised round face. So, without further ado, let's begin. Let's put the equation back up. Let's create a table. Y equals 2x minus 1. I'm showing you guys again, that way you can understand the different ways and as it goes along to plug in different numbers. Let's create a table. So, we edit list, click Convert to Table. And it'll say if your table created, you can also undo this equation, undo this, like you normally do like with your Microsoft Word or PowerPoint. You can do like the undo feature. So, in mathematics, we have what's called an x and f of x, which would be y. Y is this equation right here. So say I had x would equal 0. When you plug 0 into the equation, you would get -1, which would be this dot right here. Each of these dots represents different points on the graph where you'd plug x into. So now that you have a basic idea of how other different stuff works, now let's create a cute little picture. So, in order to create a circle on Desmos, we simply have to do the equation x squared plus y squared equals 1. That gives us a small circle with a radius of 1 and a diameter of 2. But say I want to make it a little bit bigger. This is our back button right here. This button right here, the one with the, that you'd see on normal Apple products. We press the back button, see we get our triangle with an exclamation point here. Let's say we have the number 25. If you ever at any time want to hide our keypad, simply press the little X that says Hide Keypad. And if you ever want to show it again, simply press Show Keypad. Now let's create our eyes for our little guy. Simply put, in order to create the different eyes for different functions, you got to make sure that you have, it goes, excuse me, to where you want on the graph. For me, I want to have the center of the eye be at 0.22 for our right eye, and for our left eye, I want to have it at -2, 2. So, whenever you're plugging in different equations to have like x minus 2 squared, like the entire equation squared, always make sure you use a parentheses. So x minus 2, and parentheses, of course, squared. That'll give you a parabola. That's the first part you need. Plus, parenthesis, y minus 2 squared equals 1. Ta-da! We have our first eye. Now, let's create our second eye. I'm going to show you the wrong way how to put our second eye on first, and then I'll show you the correct way. This will help teach students to show that no matter which way you plug, if you plug the wrong numbers in, it'll give you what you plugged in. So let me put in the wrong thing first. X plus 2 squared. Remember, you can always change the color of it. Edit list, color, black, because we're using black for our eyes. Plus y plus 2 squared equals 1. Now you see what I did here? I accidentally put our second eye down in what's called the third quadrant. A graph is normally divided up into 4 quadrants. This eye up here is located in the first quadrant. It goes first, second, third, and fourth. So I want to put my eye in the second quadrant. Do you know how I do it? If you said change the y plus 2 to y minus 2, you are correct. And now we have our second eye. Now we need to create a different surprised mouth. And I want my center of the mouth to be at 0, -2. So, I do x squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 1. Silly me. I put our mouth as like a little symbol in the middle of the eyes. No, 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 Hope. You back it up and press +3. And now we have a very surprised face. This is just a very simple illustration, but many different things, different pictures can have many different lines. Say I wanted to put a square around our little guy. Say I had, we need our keypad, of course. Remember, the show keypad is down here. Do x equals -6. Now, when you're doing this, one more thing I forgot to tell you. Whenever you want to put a negative in, always use the minus button. Say you want to use like -6, that works there too. We always want to try to use the same color to create a cool picture. X equals 6. When you're creating different artwork, you always want to make sure you have the same color. That creates a cool picture. Y equals -6. Remember, always use a cool color. It helps. And finally, y equals 6. Remember, there are also only 6 colors: red, blue, green, purple, orange, and black. And now we have created a beautiful picture with a surprise face inside a square. This is just a very simple illustration, but imagine when you can create with many different lines and equations. Using this different website, it helps teach students many different good aspects of graphing lines. Why don't you try making your own designs? I would love to see many of them. So, this is Desmos. Thanks for watching.